I paid a guy to be my boyfriend, but now his mom is planning for our wedding and I don't think I can leave. My ex was getting married to the woman he cheated on me with, and I was invited. Now most people would turn it down because they're sane, but I couldn't. You see, my ex Brian had invited my entire friend group from college to the wedding. He knew everyone had partners except me, so he wanted to show everyone that nobody could love me one last time. What he didn't know was that he'd be getting the exact opposite of that. After I vented about it, my roommate suggested I find someone from a rental dating app. It's just like hiring a photographer or a DJ, she said. You're hiring a service, and they're all very professional with clear rules. The app was full of attractive people willing to be your +1 for events. $500 for a weekend. Professional actors who'd make you look good and disappear afterward. I ended up choosing a gorgeous guy named Kobe, who had a Harvard MBA, rescue dogs, and a jawline that I knew would make my ex Brian jealous. He sent me a form to fill out asking for pages of information on me, from my favorite color to secrets only couples would know. We made up an elaborate story about how we had met romantically at a park when one of his rescue dogs got loose and ran straight for me, and how for him it was love at first sight. Kobe was incredibly professional, and honestly, it made me wonder just how many clients he'd dealt with. I sent him half the money through Zelle, and he showed up to my apartment the morning of the wedding, somehow looking even better than the photos. He brought me a corsage that matched my dress. Ready to go? He smiled. Honestly, no, I told him laughing. He reached out and held my hand, leading me out to his Lexus. He kept holding my hand even during the ceremony, with his thumb tracing small circles on the back. He whispered jokes during boring parts and kept checking on me during the exchange of vows, making sure I was fine. And I hate to admit it, but Kobe was good. Really, really good at his job. Even at the reception, he managed to charm everyone. He got my college friends laughing about stories from our relationship that he'd improvised on the spot. He got my shy friends to dance and even debated politics with the older guests there. Even the bride kept her eyes on him, blown away by his jawline and perfect hair. And Brian watched it all with a tortured stare that practically healed me from the whole cheating incident. Kobe pulled me out to slow dance with him, whispering in my ear, "Let's make them all jealous." But none of that was on my mind anymore. All I could focus on was the way his heart raced just as fast as mine, and I wondered if maybe there was something more between us. About the no falling in love rule, I started to mention, but the ringing of his phone interrupted it. Kobe smiled and apologized, picking it up, only for his face to turn completely pale and rigid. His mom sobbed on the other end of the line, telling him that his father had just collapsed. When he hung up, I didn't even hesitate. I grabbed his car keys and started dragging him out of the venue. The 40-minute drive was silent, like we were suddenly strangers again. We sprinted into the hospital and made it to the room just before they dragged his father into surgery. His mom held my hand, tears still spilling from her eyes. "Thank God you're here. Kobe told us all about you." My heart skipped a beat. Kobe told them about me? Why? I glanced over at him while his mother kept saying how he'd undersold me, how beautiful I was, how happy she was to finally meet me even though she wished it was under better circumstances. I pulled Kobe to an emptier hallway away from the waiting room. "You told your family about me?" I asked. Kobe ran his hands through his hair and apologized. "I know it's unprofessional. I know the rules. But those nights we spent chatting, sharing stories and memes, I started to really like you, and I thought I could ask you out after the whole wedding thing was over," he explained. "I was selfish, and now I dragged you into an even bigger mess." Before I could say anything, the light in the OR suddenly shut off. His dad's surgery was finally finished. Kobe and I rushed over to the room. His dad was conscious, but his eyes were still unfocused. He reached out and squeezed my hand, whispering, "Beautiful, take care of my boy." I felt my own tears threaten to fall, but all of this was wrong. It was a lie. I had hired Kobe to date me to make my own ex feel bad, and now his family thinks we're something real, and it didn't sit well with me. I slowly tried to exit the hospital, hoping to slip out without anyone noticing, but just as I reached the entrance, Kobe caught my wrist, gently pulling me towards his warm chest. Full story on channel linked below.